Everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma, playing on Hermitcraft once again. Gonna continue placing down lots of magenta blocks. Oh yes. That is the plan for today and for right now. And we're streaming on Thursday. This has been a strange week. The bank holiday has made all the days feel jumbled, but it's Thursday. And it's much earlier than we would usually stream because we've got a meeting in the evening. So I figured now would be the time to do a stream. So we got to go... Actually, I don't think we're getting magenta wool. I think we used all of the magenta wool. So now we got to go get some different wool. Oh yeah, I'm streaming too. XP streaming. Awesome. Yeah, we've got to go get some wool and some dye. Let's go get the dye first. Soundwave Hope is here for 61. Thank you so much, Soundwave. Appreciate you. Papa K is online. We got Armored Monkey here for 89 months. Woo! 89, incredible, my dude. Thank you so much for the support. Soundwave Hope, Winnie T Ford with the bananas in chat, as well as Digital Chaos and Salamander Pudding. Thank you for your banana. You shouldn't be able to spawn anywhere around here. Like, anywhere at all. That is not a valid spawn spot because there is a chain there. So where did the spider come from? Oh, I spotted where it came from. Is there another one over there too? No. Oh, it's the top of a mushroom? I did a little bit of mushroom farming in here a while ago and had this happen. I don't recall doing that again, but apparently I did. Or someone else maybe can. Or maybe I left a mushroom and it grew. No, there's a mushroom there. Right, don't you dare break anything in here with your arrows. Oh, for goodness sake. Making me look like a bad shot. I'm not a bad shot, am I, people? Yeah, a little strange to see this. I thought last time I was here I tidied this up, but okay. We know what the problem is. We'll fix the problem. Don't storm a stream immediately after uploading the episode. That's rude, says Yakido. I'm so sorry. I should have consulted you before choosing to stream today. Incredibly inconsiderate of me. Next time I will consult you first and, you know, find out what you're doing in your day and what's convenient for you before I choose to stream. Yeah, we'll do that next time. I'm not informed what are the bananas for. Great question. Bananas is the meme for the emote is, I guess it's a meme here on the channel. It's the traditional way of saying I can see the stream to me. Because in the past, a long time ago, we would have some issues with Twitch when it was less stable. And I would say, put bananas in chat if you can hear me. And so people put bananas in chat. And that is how we communicate about the visibility of the stream. So if ever like the stream goes down and then it comes back up, you throw in a banana and then, hey, I know that it got solved. That's what's going on there. Criminal Squirrel. Thank you for 5 months of criminality. Appreciate it. I like the username. I love usernames like that. Animals and other things. Always fun. Alright. We are slowly stockpiling a ridiculous amount of various things that I need. I guess. We'll take some of this back to the storage. And let's turn off the lights in here. The lights are the light levels. Like My Wheels is here for 28 months. You love watching me play Minecraft, my dude. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. It's good to hear. So that's pink and yellow dye. And magenta is one of these over here, right? Isn't there like a really big flaw with this thing that I didn't figure out until later? But then maybe I fixed it? Seems to ring a bell. We're going to need just an honestly stupid amount of magenta dye, right? Might it be smarter to... What's magenta made from? Hang on, my brain's doing a thing. It's like, hold your horses, X. There might be an idea here. Let's find out what it wants. Rain says, great new username. I agree. Becca says, throw a banana at the streamer. That's kind of what it's like, isn't it? It's like you're throwing me a banana. Magenta. I guess I've got to put dye in. So, purple and pink. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so the lilac gives us 2. Purple and pink. I don't think... There isn't like a direct purple from a plant yet, is there? So is that one there, not this one? Well, there goes a whole bunch of dye to the wrong place. Okay, let's get this thing going, shall we? It will take a while. You can probably make one that runs faster. Let's go back to it and just see if we missed anything there. I'm in lessons. What's going on right now? Taking a break before doing more coursework. Just getting some dye together. That's all we're doing. Thomason, thank you so much for 14 months. Did this make a noise in the ear? It did. Those have been fixed. But now, my recording of the streams no longer record the source, which is kind of annoying. That's like the floor I've been left with. And I still haven't fully moved off of slobs, but one thing at a time. You just sneezed and now your cat is glaring daggers at you. I got a cat story. So I think there's like a new cat in the neighborhood. So where I live, if you go out in the evening for a walk, you're going to see at least 10 or more cats on the street. Ah, alliums. That's just what you will see. Lots and lots of cats. Now that I think about it, I do have blue flowers from Ethos, so I could make that plus a bunch of red for purple with the pink. Like, I'm not sure if the bone meal translation or input matters that much, but it doesn't seem like there's an obvious way to get this a little bit quicker or cheaper. So this is just kind of what we're doing, right? We're just going to roll with that. I'm probably going to get a little bit more because we basically probably want a whole shulker box worth. So let's go fill this up, get some more bone meal, and hang out for a little bit. So yeah, if you go down my street on any given day, you're probably going to see 10 different cats hanging out at least. There's a lot of cats in the neighborhood. They're cool. I like the cats. Let's take some from this side. We like it, a cat. Now that I think about it, if I'm going to fill up a whole shulker box, like, this is... That plus that is probably more than, so maybe we'll just do that and see what happens. Anyway, there's a new cat on the block. I think a family has got on a very young cat. It doesn't look like a kitten, but its energy feels kind of like young. And I opened the door the other day to pour some boiled water out on the ants because I noticed there was, as soon as there's one in the kitchen, I start pouring the kettle outside in the cracks to kill off the ants. I don't like doing stuff like that. I don't like interfering with nature. But like, once you get ants in your kitchen, it can become a bit of a problem. So you kind of have to do that. Anyway, I open the door, I pour the kettle, and just as I turn around, out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving through the door into my house, and it's this new kitty cat. And it just immediately just starts like browsing around the house. It doesn't know, like, this is my property or whatever. Like, it's a cat. And it climbs on stuff and it purrs at me and it lets me stroke it. It's very playful. And then I struggle to, like, get my hands on it and start to tell it, you know, out the door. Because once I'm pulling on its collar, it's resisting. And I'm like, I don't want to upset it. I don't want it to feel threatened. That's my cat now. No, it's not. It's just a young cat that's, like, exploring the neighborhood and just doesn't know which home is its and which home is someone else's. So, man, wherever I go, we just got game sounds on at the moment. Let's stand over here. So the little kitty cat walked in, and then it started climbing behind stuff, like behind the telly and in and out of these boxes. And I was like, oh my god, this turned into a little bit of a, you know, there's a term for this, like a little bit of theatre or something. I don't know. And then it started stretching. It sort of did downwards facing dog, and it started stretching out and putting its claws into the carpet. Now, luckily, it was doing this on a bit of carpet that sits on top of another one. So, like, I've got a carpet with a carpet on top of it that's been turned into a mat, and that's the way you go in and out the door. so it's like a protective layer. And like it didn't do too much damage to it, but I was like, a moment ago you were on one of my new carpets and you were sitting on my main chair, and like it could have done that anywhere and started tearing it, because that's something they do, right? Cats, they like to like tear their claws and stuff. So you get them a toy to do that with. You get them like one of those little, I forget what they call them, but like, you know, got like little trees of fur for them to stretch their little claws on and stuff. Cat on the mat, yeah. Yeah, it was right a little bit of fun, but then I basically had to just drag it out the front door, and although it resisted, it didn't seem upset or that bothered, so I was like, okay, cool. Cat scratches / cat tree, yeah. One of your cats scratched up the side of the old sofa, yeah. See, that's one of the things about having pets in the house, is that they tear stuff up. Some of them do. Smarting 1018, 120 months. That is 10 years of support. Thank you so much, my dude. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the stream today, celebrating 10 years. Like, do you remember 10 years ago? What the heck was I doing on here? I don't even remember what I was doing 10 years ago. Such a long time. Your bed is destroyed from your cat, sadly, yeah. A cat scratched on your lap when you was eating out. Oh, interesting. That could have gone bad. So I saw the same kitty right before I came in the house after a walk, because just before streaming, I've like done my morning routine. I've worked out, I've eaten, went out for a walk. Right as I come back in, before I go up here to stream, that little kitten's out there, and so I made a little noise at it, and it looked at me, and then I went to stroke it, and it immediately just flipped over onto its back and started purring and like putting its arms and its claws around my leg, and it felt really like playful energy, so I like stroked its belly a little bit, but at the same time I was thinking, those claws, man, that might scratch me. And then like a moment later, something spooked it and it ran away. Ruffs is back after tough times. I'm sorry to hear you've been through some tough times, my dude. Welcome back. I hope everything's okay. Heart Gamer says, see, the kitty is adopt you. I don't think it's adopted me. I think it's very like young and just like open to anyone kind of thing, right? Like I saw it in my garden the other day, and these kids came in and took it out, and I think it's like their new cat, but because it's like brand new in the house, it doesn't sort of identify who's its owner and stuff yet, you know. Not that it probably even conceives it as like, that is my human owner, you know? Like, it's a cat. Cats probably don't think in those sorts of terms. This reminds me of the whole, like, if we could talk to animals thing. If you could talk to an animal, you would probably find that your points of reference or your interpretations of reality are just so different that even though you could translate words, like, conceptually, you'd be speaking different. Cats are adorable. Met a shy cat I got to pet. When I went to leave, it would slowly sneak after me. Would never stop when I'd stop. It was adorable. That does sound super cute. Humans are owned by the cat. That's true. Sometimes I see someone walking a dog, and I'm like, who's walking who here? You know? Who's walking who? Cats think of us as different cats. I don't think they would, because we're clearly not a cat, but they might sort of treat us on a similar level. Cats are really weird when you see them hanging out, because they feel like they're communicating with each other, but with like some sort of proximity. So like if ever you walk along and you see there's like a group of them, some of them are like looking at each other, but once one of them starts to move because you're getting close to them, they all seem to sort of move in this like not together way, but like reacting to each other. It's really odd. I think if we could understand the social dynamics of dogs and cats, I think cats would be way more mysterious and interesting, and dogs would be way more like, of course, you know? X, now that the sulfur is in the game, copper plus sulfur plus water, Google image search for copper sulfite, new block soon. No, I don't think Mojang tend to sort of do that kind of thing. I think by now it would be more obvious if they were going to add more blocks. Plus, they did say that this is like the end of the features, basically. Cat social dynamics are very complicated. I live with 6 of them. If you've lived with them and been around them a long time, I imagine you pick up a few things, right? Catepathy? Catepathy? There's a cat in your neighborhood that walks out in front of cars and just screams at them. Wow, that's crazy. Like, what, like the car comes along and they just jump in front of it? As if, like, you are a bad, loud thing. And I will growl at you. That's crazy. You love videos of cat cams where they go off and explore the world with their cat buddies. Oh, what's that? What's that? I'm gonna look that up after. That sounds super interesting. I can almost picture it. Yeah, like a viral video of a bunch of cats like walking down a street on patrol mode or something. You tried to teach your cats to walk on a harness. They cried so much. I have a cat named Link. He doesn't live up to his name. Why would you walk a cat on a harness? Nothing about that is immediately obvious to me. Your parents got your first family cat when you was under a year old. Interesting time to get one. You see, everyone's heard a horror story of a pet attacking a small child, but dogs are very protective of children. I'm not so sure about cats. I don't know much about cats with that. You have lived with at least 8 cats at home. Currently it's 12. It's chaotic as you think it is. Yeah, 12 would be chaotic. I mean, just wherever you go, there would be cats. Because cats walking around free outside is dangerous for the cat. Maybe? I don't know. Like, there's danger everywhere in life. There's, like, degrees of danger, isn't there? Everstaroo walks their cat on a harness because they're unwell. Alright, so is the harness to help them walk or something? Like a harness with wheels? For sick cats? That makes sense to me. Dude, just all but 1 stack short. That's pretty well done, I think. X, do you like cats or dogs more? I definitely like dogs. I'm definitely a dog person now that I have a dog in my life, but I like all animals really. It's to me, I'm always less in favor of putting stuff into lists of like this above the other one, but like like what's unique about cats is really interesting. Same with dogs. Like it's more like what is there to know about this animal that's what interests me. Like I bet there's animals that most of us probably don't know a lot about because they're not domesticated. So, you know, which animal do we know the most about? Probably dogs, maybe cats second because they're domesticated. But then further down the line, there's more obscure animals, mysterious ones, and, you know, learning about their behaviors and like what they get up to, that's fascinating. They've all got their own like uniqueness and personality. Meerkats, for example, meerkats are like just awesome. If you've ever gone to a zoo where they've had meerkats and watched their behavior, it's like super cute. They're kind of like a mix of like some sort of cuddly toy. Like if squirrels were cuddly and didn't just constantly jitter and run away. Like squirrels look like an anxious animal. And then like a bit of like catness to them as well. But yeah, all of that. And then the way they just stand on their back legs and look around is just so adorable. They're really cool, meerkats. I've come all the way over... Okay. Let's gracefully land. I've gone all the way over there without collecting my box that has the map in. We'll go back and get it. What's my favorite dog breed? You know, so like that thing that I said a second ago about how I don't like putting things in lists and having a favorite, and I'm like really interested in what all the different things are, you know? So like, oh, there's all these different breeds of dogs. What's the history of them, you know? How are they bred? Which branches, which breeds can breed together and which one can't? And now forget all of that. Dog breeds, my favorite is I don't know. I don't know my dog breeds very well. I don't know my dog breeds very well. Was this somewhere around here or was it on the floor below? Rank all dogs now, says Aprover. Yeah, it's not even about what breed it is. It's about ranking the individual dog. Okay, that's what we're doing next. We're just ranking individual. I didn't even get the wall together before I headed over there. See what chatting does to me? Just total distractions. Total distractions. Do I like bunnies? Yeah, I love bunnies. I really like a bunny rabbit that's comfortable with humans, because if you can like pet one, they're so cuddly. They're so cuddly. Did you see the last C-Team video? I saw that Ren posted one yesterday, but isn't it the same thing that they did like a week ago, I think? Where they did the Ender Dragon stuff? Oh, by the way, if you came from today's episode, or if today's episode is on your playlist, also subscribe to Ren. Ren will be putting out the kind of uncut thing of us. I think mostly uncut. I don't want to tell you it's uncut and then find out he cut it, you know, but like I get the impression he's going to put out most of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want more of what you saw in today's episode or didn't see, I mean, you probably didn't because I'm streaming, and that would have given you 0 time to watch it, but you get what I'm getting at. You get what I'm getting at. All right, so let's just, I don't know, proportionately speaking, which wall we should get rid of, but we'll just do a bunch at once. We'll just do a bunch at once. This might get a little bit grindy, and I think a crafting bench might be handy so we can repeat. I should be able to repeat that. Don't you press Control and Space to repeat your crafting recipe? I'm sure they added that. Or am I misremembering something here? Huh. I could have swore that was a thing. Yes, there is a new episode out. Just space. Well, you shift all of that back and then you press... Nah, it's not working. I mean... Yeah, it's not working might be that there's something interfering with it, but... I thought that was a thing, man. I thought it was a thing. You know? This extra odd one is going to get in the way, I know it. You have to have the recipe book for it to work. Dude, someone's got some mad knowledge. Wait, I do have the recipe. Oh, wait. Are we saying you click there and then you do that? Ah, that's the difference. I kind of thought it just worked like this, but no. So if we do that, now we can repeat. Okay. Thank you for the help. That makes sense. Yeah, so let's get another color in here. I'll try not to pick on the same color each time. Alt F4. Oh yeah, let me Control Delete. Yeah, let me just try that quickly. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Smash my computer with a hammer to fix it. Yeah, let me just try that quickly. Oh, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. Oh. One thing that's a little bit of a shame about doing a stream the second your episode comes out is that we can't exactly talk about it because y'all wouldn't have watched it. Which sucks, but next stream we will have a lot to talk about because that is, without a doubt, the wildest episode of Hermitcraft I've ever done. It's almost like an unhinged episode. I've spent a lot of time putting all of that together, and now I'm like, I think I need a break. I think I just need a break. We did good. And now we deserve a break. I'm leaving the stream. If you're leaving to go watch the episode, I don't mind at all. Like, we're just doing some grindy stuff today, so you know, if you fancy an episode more than hanging around, I get it. That's cool. I won't take offense. You're ready for some unhinged content. Yeah, I mean, maybe unhinged isn't the correct word, but like, it's pretty wild. There hasn't been an episode quite like this before. Am I into board games? If so, what's your favorite? I kind of am, but I haven't had time to play one in ages. I really enjoyed playing... Oh, what was it called now? I went through a period of getting some board games and enjoying them. I forget what they are now. 7 Wonders? Yeah. 7 Wonders. That one was a lot of fun. I played that online as well with some of the peeps in the community. It was good fun, but... You know, of all the interests and things I could do with my time and want to do, I am persistently trying to narrow it down to music and stop getting distracted, because I've just noticed that there's like loads of stuff that interests me, and if I keep following all these different pursuits, I never really like focus on something. So after 15 years of going pretty hard on Minecraft, it's time to like slow down and turn that energy towards music. And so far, so good. Like today, I woke up and did nothing but music related stuff for the first like 4 hours of the day, and like things continuously keep clicking for me, like concepts and stuff that I learn about. And I've been doing some more songwriting exercises, and I'm getting excited because I feel it's all going in the right direction. I've struggled a bit in the past with time management and stuff, and it's, if you want to dabble your toes into this stuff, you really need the time for it. You don't get to just do a little bit of it here and there. You have to kind of like ingratiate yourself in the world, and I'm finally doing that and feeling like some of the fruits come back. I've really developed my understanding of chords and song structures and how to write melodies over them thanks to studying theory, and I just keep learning stuff, and I really love that feeling of learning. And it's difficult to find in places that you're not as passionate about. So doing it in a place that I'm very passionate about, it just feels like that's what you want. You want to be passionate about something, and you want to learn about it. And with Minecraft, you know, I spent years doing that. I spent years doing my little contraptions and tutorial videos and learning the game inside out. And, you know, now it's just time to apply that to something else. Michael Stickle says, yeah, getting deep into something is great. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and so that the modern environment of like constantly putting thumbnails in front of you, it's very distracting. It pulls you in lots of different directions. And so like my constant reminder is like, what's this thing and how is it not related to music? So now it's like the choice is always turned towards music. You just you put those like guardrails in front of you, like what are my priorities, and then you follow them. And then you notice when it's like, okay, should I be watching this video about thing I'm vaguely interested right now? Sometimes the answer is yes. You know, sometimes it's the end of the day, you're trying to unwind. I'm going to listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about the universe. You know, like there are moments where doing the other thing works, but a lot of the time the answer is not to do that thing. It's to yeah, it's to... The end of sentence eludes me. It's because I started thinking about what I need to do next. We got 28. Let's round it up to 30. 2 lots of 28. 30. That would be 60. So what? 12 diamonds for Ren. At his incredibly generous prices, of which I now appreciate more because I am, yeah, I am going to spend a lot of diamonds. 12-hour half day. Thank you for 6 months. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So, chat, what do you want to talk about today? Oh, you're glad I'm talking about this because you've been in the same predicament lately, says Blues. Blues, feel free to tell us more and share us your perspective on this. If I were to elaborate briefly between waiting for your next message, it's how I've been reflecting a lot on how I've grown up through... my childhood was not online, okay? My childhood was a traditional outdoorsy 90s childhood. As I became a teenager, that's when the internet arrived in our homes, and the early days of the internet didn't have this, you know, competing for your attention economy. Even through like my 20s, being online as Facebook and MySpace kind of blew up. Those also weren't quite like they are today. So I've grown through periods of transformation that gives me this ability to reflect back and see, wait a minute, how did I used to spend my time compared to today? And I'm realizing just how much this phone and these environments of like flashy thumbnails and titles trying to grab your attention, that competing for your attention takes it away from you discovering it within yourself and where you need to put your attention, like where your soul needs to direct its attention. I think about the things I used to really enjoy, and it's like how do I not manage to enjoy that stuff anymore? Like over the last few days, I've pulled out a few classic records and just listened to them all the way through, and it's so pleasurable and enjoyable. And I've just realized I never do this anymore because something's trying to grab my attention. And when I remove what's trying to grab my attention, things arise from within myself, like, oh, remember that record from way back when? Oh, I should listen to that again. So I did. You're from 2004. Is that when you were born? So you're like early 20s. Oh, that got deleted. Okay. Your headspace is kind of opposite lately, struggling to focus, attention, economy, hell. Anti-Brint, I would say, well, when you say opposite, I would say we're talking about the exact same thing here, right? I'm in a position where I'm breaking away from the struggle to focus. I'm still feeling the struggle. It's still a struggle, but I'm going in the right direction now. However, the attention economy is what's distracting us constantly and messing with our ability to focus. So, like, everything we're talking about here is related to that. Contemplating investing in a nice record player setup. I haven't done it before, but I love the way it looks and sounds, says Joshy Drizzle. I don't know what your financial situation is, but when it comes to investing in something, it's about, like, you know, how much do you get back out of it over time? And my experience of music tells me that I think that putting money into a vinyl setup and all of that would be a waste. I have a story that I tell every now and then about a friend of mine who one day, long time ago, sort of came to me and went, oh, you know, check out these amazing headphones that I've got. They cost £100. And this was like back when headphones, like a top pair probably cost 20 quid. And they were saying, you know, 7.1 surround sound. And I immediately just went, what are you listening to on it? MP3s? And he was like, yeah. And just realized, like, how he'd been duped, you know? So if you invest money in a fancy sound setup, then you have to invest in the vinyls as well to actually experience it that way. And for me personally, I've dabbled with vinyl a little bit a long time ago, and it does not add that much to the experience. I'm pretty happy with streaming MP3s over Spotify. So, you know, like the way to make that decision is to think it through carefully and to really assess what kind of value you get out of it. I also was put off by the fact that I don't like collectionism and completism, and my absolute Achilles heel is that kind of thing with music. So, like, when I listen to a band, I am a sucker for going through their whole discography. Now, that's the best kind of sucker you can be, in my opinion. But then it becomes a problem if I'm going to have a record collection, because I'm never going to be happy with it. It's always going to need one more level of completeness. Like, how do I have this record and not that one? You know, I could start with my top 10 favorite albums of all time, but then there'll be one in there where it's like, I mean, I can't even have a top 10, you know? And if I try and define these boundaries, like, I know how my mind works. I am just going to waste money on vinyl. And some people, I think, genuinely get pleasure out of their possessions, but there's that Papa Roach song that says the things that you own you, and that's probably not their original quote, right? Between Angels and Insects? God, that's a cracking song. Alex JG42, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it, my dude. Domineus coming in with a 20 stream streak. Awesome, thank you so much. Turin says, I only collect vinyl for the large album covers anymore, wall art. You see, I could do the same thing and the same trap would apply. I could look at my... This is why I don't decorate my house. It's all plain, because as soon as I start putting stuff somewhere, it feels like I'm, I don't know, painting a picture, and like these pictures will never be complete. So once I put up my favorite album of all time on the wall, it's gonna feel like I need to put some others around it, and then those one, you know, I can't just have black metal records. Like, what are my favorite? You know, all right, I got to put in Dark Side of the Moon. Now I need a hip hop record. Okay, we've got to put in Illmatic, and then it's, you know, once it starts growing, my brain will just want to fill it out more and more, and so I don't do that. Starstruck says, absolutely love my record player. The Records has a very different and distinctive sound. I have a 20k stereo, and regular streaming is also good. Don't get me wrong, but to put those records from time to time is something different, and I absolutely love the sound, especially around Christmas. Well, there you are, getting some, you know, pleasure out of it, and it works for you. So, like, good for you. I think the thing is just to really think these things through and know who you are when you make these decisions. Joshy says, when I was in high school, I spent a lot of money because I've been an impulse buyer most of my life, but since college, it taught me to be intentional with my purchases. That is a great lesson to learn. Yeah, impulse buying is the worst. It's yeah. So there's this weird mechanic that a lot of us are susceptible to, where you feel like buying is like some sort of positive reward to yourself, and I've over the years very much gone in the other direction, because I think it comes with age, first of all, right? But there's going to be a point where your financial security starts to weigh more on your mind. Like, I think when you're young and you live at home, it's hard to sort of picture out moving and being responsible, so it's easy just to spend whatever money comes your way. But then as responsibilities start to grow around you and you have pressure on your money, you'll hopefully see how, like, impulse buying doesn't help, right? And I think we all sort of think we should be able to have anything in life, you know, because telling someone that they shouldn't spend their money sort of sounds wrong. You got to be smart and save up, and then you're sort of thinking, oh well, all these pleasures and things that I want are taken away from me if I have to do that. And I think that's more of like an emotional connection to spending, and that will potentially trap you into, you know, maybe spending more than you actually have, or impulse buying and just not managing your money well, and then becoming a victim to circumstance when, I don't know, you desperately need money for an emergency and you don't have it, and then there's knock-on consequences of that. So, like, learning to be fiscally responsible, as they say, earlier on in life is really good, but it's like, it's got this strange connection to how we want to spend money. What I love most about streaming is that I have the freedom to choose what to listen to without having to store CDs, cassettes, and vinyl. I would want to have to deal with the clutter, but at the same time, I feel the same about books. I could store all the books in the world, says the Chibi Kiko. As someone who has had a record collection in the past and has moved on to streaming, I will tell you this: when you do streaming, it's a great way to discover music. Everything's very accessible, but the streaming platforms are also trying to compete for your attention. And I notice it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes when there's just like this endless choice. And if I compare it to like the CD collection, it used to be more about like doing work to figure out what records you're going to buy next. And so your collection was much more intentional and perhaps said something about you. Whereas I think with streaming, you can kind of quite naturally be coerced into more reactive decision making, especially if you like finish listening to that record and Spotify goes on shuffle. Now that's great for discovering stuff, but like there's pros to both sides of it, and having experienced both, I can tell you that sometimes doing some good old research, you find some really cool stuff that's like up your street, and the algorithm just doesn't get you to that sometimes, you know. You feel victim to doing this with buying computer parts because there would just be some super good sale on a part, but I didn't really need because it was on sale. I justified buying it because it saved me money, but the fact remains that I spent the money. I didn't really need to. Yeah, so that's another psychological thing, is you go into a store to buy a bottle of water for $1, and you buy 2 bottles of water for $1.50, and you think you've got a bargain, but you actually only ever need 1 bottle of water at that point in time. And so you've spent 50 cents more. This is like a psychological thing. If you go to the cinema, right, the bag of popcorn is really expensive, and it's only 50 cents or whatever more to upgrade to the large. And you get double the amount. And it seems absurd not to, but you got to ask yourself, how much do you actually want to eat right now? I think also when it comes to eating, you can definitely do some sort of like cost to calories type thing if you want to be smart with money and use food to like leverage better decision making. So if you like go to the cinema, have half the bag of popcorn and take the rest home for tomorrow and enjoy it the next day, then you've probably made a good decision. But you know, when you buy bottled water, it's like you can go home and fill it back up in the tap. So like, you know, it's probably not a great idea to buy 2 bottled water for 1/2 the price. So yeah, anyway, all of this sort of like impulse buying, comfort buying, the feeling of spending money being good, or the psychology of being told you're saving money. One thing to say is the price is always the price. All right, forget the you know, mega discount that's on. You pay the price, right? If you go into a store and there's a big sign saying mega discount, 5,000% off, you know, this bottle of water only costs $1. You'd be like, hang on a second. So you're telling me the original price is like $5,000 or something? You know, I might have not done the math right there, but you get the point. So the price is always the price. That's what you got to remember with this stuff. But the other thing is just that I think when you're young, you don't look at money you've got saved up as meaning much. And unfortunately, it does mean a lot, and it'll mean more as you get older, and you know that like the bills keep coming, and you know one day you're going to be too old and knackered to work, and like, have you got a pension? Have you got a retirement fund? And so the way you spend money when you're young, like it works against you, because you tend not to make those decisions. I sound like Trump right now. Really? What? Oh, Trump maths. Oh, you mean with the 5,000%? Okay, got ya. Think I'm with you now. You do that with takeaways. You make them last 2 to 3 meals. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you can get really big portions of takeaway food, right? When I have a takeaway, I'm a calorie counter. I do all the calculations. I generally know what's going in and out. But I can totally see how that would work for you. Like, I'm a big eater. I eat big meals. My body uses a lot of energy, so... Oh, are we out? No, we got more. So, like, when I get a takeaway, it's usually like a big treat for myself. You was listening to music from your high school years and realized there was a band you'd never heard of. That's when I realized the number of bands that really thought they'd make it is massive. Oh, yeah, dude, there are so many bands. Like, if you can think of a band that's big and popular, they're at the top of a pyramid. And that pyramid stretches out and goes wide fast. There's a lot of stuff that barely gets any listeners, you know. But some expenditures are short-term investments into myself for better mental health. Yep, that's totally valid. That was the other thing I was going to get to, was like understanding the value of where you put your money. So there's this sort of effect of thinking that buying stuff will fix a problem, right? So if I buy gym equipment, I've been training for 10 years. I know how long I'm going to buy that equipment for. It's like a proper investment. But some people might buy gym equipment because they like the idea of getting in shape. Oh yeah, I'll do that thing and I'll do it tomorrow. You know, I'll buy some weights and I'll start lifting tomorrow. It's the wrong way around to go about stuff. You need to like know that it's your thing. So like, I consider buying a guitar an investment in how much time I will spend with that instrument enjoying it. And I've spent a lot of time lately really enjoying my new guitar. I was playing it yesterday. After I recorded the episode with Ren, I had to go play the song. And I found a track on YouTube where it's just the bass and guitar. And so I played along to that, and it sounds so good, my new guitar. I got the tone really dialed in, and the performance on it sounds decent. And I just had an absolute whale of a time learning new songs and really getting into it. But like, before I got the guitar, I knew that would be the end result of it. And so that's that whole you have to understand your relationship to things and not be a sucker for thinking that you're gonna get into this thing if you just buy something for it, you know? The Chibi Kiko says, I discovered that takeaway portions are usually bigger than if you eat the same thing in the restaurant. I've always wondered that. Whenever we go for a curry in Indian and we eat at the restaurant, I kind of order similar to that I would on a takeaway, and I always feel like the takeaways are bigger. I always feel like that. Can anyone tell me more about that? Like, does anyone know stuff about that? Because that's really interesting. Why would they do it that way around? You're exactly the opposite of impulse buying. Paranoid about spending money on anything, says Blueberry Ghost. Good, honestly, good for you, especially in this time and age. Like, I think at different points in time, based on how the world is and the economy is, like, people can be a bit more precarious with money. Right now, we're living through strange times when it comes to money. And learning to, like, invest your money and manage it well is really important. In a weird way, even more so when times get hard, because then those little extras, those little wins, they kind of become more necessary to have. It's a weird thing. We got Bear here with a 5-stream streak. Another JT is here for 107 months. Magma Indy is here for 20. And we got XP Crafted come in with the raid. 420, hee hee. Welcome to all 420 of you. Insert joke here. XP, man, thank you for the raids. I saw you were on earlier. We will cross paths sometime soon. People, I've got to figure out an album cover for XP, for the album art gallery. And of all the brainstorming I've done, I might be guilty of brainstorming XP the least. No. Now I know why it's the least. I think it's because I figured it out straight away. Okay, the first thing that popped into my head, I was like, no, wait, that was the idea. Okay, I've actually got XP's figured out. I just remembered what it was. I could get that one bumped up the priority queue, actually, and get it on the server pretty quick. So I don't think I'm going to start recording my next episode of Hermitcraft for a while. I don't feel like I want to try and formulate what I'm doing on the server into like an episode yet. I think I'm just gonna play, and then when I feel like recording, I'll have a bunch of stuff to show. So on my streams over the next few weeks or whatever, I want to hunt down some hermits and show them their custom-made art for the art gallery, and just get their reactions. And XB is one of them, so I'll make a note actually to bump XB up the list, because I'm pretty sure his is locked in. We'll see if we can get that locked in after this stream today. So XB, if you're there and you're listening, thank you for the raid, and it sounds like I might see you soon if I can get this thing together. Chimera Dev, thank you for 41 months. The album covers have been fun so far. They really have, haven't they? I think if you see today's episode of Hermitcraft, which I uploaded right before I went live, you will absolutely love Ren's one. Ren's was one of my favorites. The way there's like 3 layers to the joke. That's what gets me excited, is when the jokes have like multiple layers that overlap. Because Cleo's is really, really good, like thematically, but it's sort of just like one joke that's right in front of you. Pearls is kind of like that, but it synergizes very, very well. Scar, again, like the joke is kind of just how nicely the AC/DC and Scar thing look. What was the other one? My one is just, popular records and put me on it. Whereas Ren's one, it like hits you on 3 different levels, which is so cool. Any idea what your first PC you ever built brought specs were? Oh my god, like I had a 486. I mean, I didn't build it, but that was the first PC. I remember we had an Amstrad before that as well, before they were even called PCs. So I'm old. Hand of Clay, thank you so much for 9 months. That is a Twitch baby. Hi, what have you been up to, Xisuma? Lovely Thursday so far. I had a day just studying music and messing around on my guitar and then on the piano and taking in some musical concepts, doing some theory work. Absolutely loving it. I feel really stoked about going forward and writing music and stuff. It's just balancing time now I've got a little bit more IRL adulting stuff to do over the next few days or whatever, but I'm going to give myself some proper time to do musical stuff over the next couple of weeks. And the Hermitcraft stuff will just happen casually as we stream, and maybe a little bit in between. But yeah, today felt like the first of one of those days, properly getting into it. I was like investigating different modes, and I still can't quite get my head around modes and the ones beyond minor and major, like Mixolydian and Lydian, and what it means when a scale is augmented. But I feel like I'm sort of seeing something more in the notes themselves now than I have done before. But have we got any music theorists out there? You got your first PC in 2021 during sophomore year of high school, and that was probably your favorite thing you ever worked up to save for and built yourself. You still use it today, and it runs like a champ. That's awesome. Yeah, these days computers can last quite a long time. I'm a music. Good. Good. So, like, I think what modes are, it's just minor and major are sort of like the easiest ones to get into and understand, and they're the most common in popular music. But the rest of the mode, because minor and major also have these archaic words attached to them. Is it Axolydian is one of them? And I think the rest of them are just like archaic words for a particular mode. And there's about 7 of them in total, and there's like 7 notes on the keyboards, keynotes, white notes. Is it like there's one mode, or there's like 7 key arrangements of your scales, like major, minor, and all of that, and they just have those archaic names? Because that's what I'm starting to think it is, but I haven't quite found a plain explanation like that. Like, the language of music theory is a bit archaic, and I get a bit bogged down by all the terminology when I start to read about this stuff. I'm picking up more and more of it slowly, and I keep going back over it and stuff. It has to do with the distance between notes to create different harmonic patterns. Yeah, that's like what a scale is, right? Or a mode. I mean, they feel like very interchangeable terms, but I believe they have a different purpose. Let's see if I can find some more before I keep waffling. Let's see if we can find some more insightful stuff. Knowing Latin/Italian is helpful. Oh, interesting. Does a lot of it derive from Latin then? So, like, if I knew what the English translation of Mixolydian was, it might be just like it refers to something really obvious. You know, like there's a whole step in the middle of the sequence of notes or something. The minor scale starts on the 6th of the major scale. Yes, that's the relationship between major and minor. So, like, C major is A minor. Like, it's all the white keys. Lydian is an old place near Greece. Interesting. Yes, but some are missing half note modalities and use only whole note differences. See, this is where like words like modalities pop up, and I still don't feel like I've got my head around what that means in the context of the language. I keep just like noodling over it and then going back, and like as you build up like more and more language, you reread the old stuff and it clicks more and more, is what I've been finding. So I'm kind of feeling like I'll get there eventually, you know, but anything that nudges me in the right direction is welcome. What's the Xisuma cheat day meal look like? Says Joshy. I don't do cheat days. I generally eat as clean as I can, high protein diet, whole foods, cook my own meals, try to keep the sugar down as much as I can. I have some treats like homemade ice cream, but that's sort of like milk and protein powder. I like eating my protein yogurts. The yogurt's pretty decent source of food, right? I have some, 2 or 3 pieces of fresh fruit every day. Sometimes it's frozen. I get in some probiotics, sauerkraut, kimchi, red cabbage. I have salads quite frequently. Like, I try and make it so my regular eating routine is, like, as good as it can be. I like cooking myself some homemade curries, other types of dishes too. Tray bakes are really good. And then, you know, maybe once a week I'll have a takeaway or something, but it's not like a cheat day. I don't have a day where I eat loads. If I have a really big takeaway, I've probably just, that'll be my one meal for the day. So I try to just keep my energy expenditure balance like dead on. Which day to day you really don't need to do, but I just find it so much easier to kind of have a diary that's like, here's what you're eating. And I'll know it'll be the right amount for what I'm doing that day, you know? So if I've got a day where I'm like going for a run and a long walk, like maybe I'll have an extra 200 or 300 calories, but most of the time it's like there's just that average to hit. But I'm not a cheat meal kind of guy. Trying to eat healthy in college is a real struggle for me due to not having a cafeteria on campus. It's all fast food. Yeah, so if you're in that sort of situation, like you kind of want to look at the fast food that's available and see like what's more whole foody. Like, are there any more like caf type places you can order from? Like, I'm going to assume you can do like the Just Eat or the Deliveroo or Uber Eats. You kind of want to look for. It's a little hard to describe, really, but. Like, there might be a caf that also does salads, you know? Is sort of what I'm thinking. Heart Gamer says, I need to rework my eating habits, but I'm struggling so bad because of sweets. You know, I would say wherever you're at right now, like, write it down. How many sweets do you eat in a day? Figure it out and just have it down as a note. And then make it your goal to, like, never go over that amount, but just bring it down a little bit to begin with. Get used to that, and then you know how it goes. Just get in the rhythm of it being less, and then when you feel like you've got the willpower, you nudge it down again a little bit. It's I think it's a good strategy because if you try and cold turkey stuff, people generally swing back to their old habits. So you just want to change what the habit is over time. You love strawberry spinach salad. That sounds wild. I love spinach in a salad, but I never thought of mixing strawberries in. I don't put fruit in a salad. That's something I don't do. I can't imagine that working. I could be wrong. Your college dorm diet is grilled cheese sandwiches and SpaghettiOs. Maybe you got to work on that. Absolutely. There's a really like big problem being young is that you absolutely get away with eating garbage. Like, your body's just so fresh and able to tolerate it, but like you pay for it later, which is just the worst, right? I feel like I got quite lucky to get on the right path when I did, because I feel like I've set myself up for a healthy, you know, older age. Whereas if I found my way to that now, it'd be probably pretty hard to get my metabolism to where it is today if I was starting afresh from like a bad food diet. But the thing is, you know, you can always make improvements, and improvements is the direction you want to go in. If you eat tomatoes in a salad, well, those are fruits. Yeah, but you know, they're not considered fruit like other fruit, are they? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to slice up some kiwi and put it in my salad. I like a fruit salad if it's all fruit, but it's so sweet. Fruits are so sweet, it just doesn't feel right to have them mixed in with, you know, leafy stuff and carrots and whatnot. Carrots are actually quite sweet. You got to work on your diet and posture at the same time. You're 6'5". Dude, you're a giant. And your back's been hurting. You have to do stretches every day. Yeah, so I went through that when I was younger. I'm 6'3", and when I was in my 20s, mid-20s, I'd say, like, I really started to get lots of back pain, and it's because I was sitting just with terrible posture at a terribly set up desk for hours on end, you know, grinding out stuff in Minecraft. This is like back in season 1 of Hermitcraft, if you like. I was just on the computer so much, sitting in this terrible chair. And eventually I got myself a Herman Miller. That's what you call an investment in your health. Oh my goodness me, that's done wonders for my back, as well as learning to do yoga stretches like cat and cow and downwards facing dog and cobra. Those are some key poses. But like, alongside doing that stuff, you don't want to stay in a static position for too long. Especially like standing is more preferable to seating, but you know, you're going to want to mix it up throughout the day. But like, a key thing to do is to break up, like, get your body those moments to move around. So like every half hour, just move around a little bit and then go back to what you were doing. that kind of thing. What the heck was that thing you brought? Didn't catch it. Herman Miller. Look up the Aeron chair by Herman Miller. You'll just find loads of rave everything about it. And once you know what it looks like, or you own one, you'll see it in movies. You'll see it everywhere because it is the absolute gold standard, like, desk chair to sit in. They made it in 1993. Jacket Fracket says, "Holy moly, that's expensive." I mean, like, is it? Is it expensive? Because if you go look up a cheap, like, gaming chair, one of those ones that looks like it's been ripped out of a racing car, that thing will be terrible for your back. And it's like an investment in yourself and your own health. It's worth the money. Like, this is what's weird about how we spend money and stuff, is that, you know, you can fall into these psychological traps that cause you to waste money because you think you're getting a bargain. And then you can be scared of spending a larger amount of money on something that really improves the quality of your life. You know, so you might take the cheap office chair, but, like, now you're at a detriment to your health. So these decisions are hard to make, though, especially if you're, you know, operating on a small budget or whatever. But the size of your budget can change depending on your spending habits and stuff too. And so sometimes it's about, like, knowing how to prioritize and where to put stuff. I mean, you might not actually need a Herman Miller. It might be that, you know, you actually spend a lot of time of your day on foot and not too much at a computer. But if you're spending like 10 hours a day at a computer desk, man, a Herman Miller is probably really worth considering. And like, people don't know the difference. It's one of those things, like, you have no idea how much of a difference it makes to sit on that chair for hours on end compared to, like, a cheap office desk chair. It's day and night. One ruins your body, the other one gets you through it. The best sitting position is always the next one, says ATN, or 100%. Speaking of which, I've been sat so far, and I think it's time to stand. That's the next position, right? Chimera Dev says they're so expensive, though. Again, it's like drinking cola, right? You drink cola every day. It's cheap, it's available, you like it, whatever. But it's like it's a tax on your health. It's like smoking. Let's go with smoking. Everyone understands smoking. Maybe not all of us are quite there with sugar yet, but let's say smoking. You spend how much money a week on cigarettes, and it's like at a detriment to your health. So imagine that you, instead of spending that money on cigarettes, you saved it up, and then you'll probably find in a year or two you could afford that chair. That doesn't mean you have to wait a year or two to get the chair. Just the point is, like, that's where you funneled the money, into something like cigarettes. Whereas you could have funneled it into something else, like a gym membership or a chair. Like, so, like, what's the money doing for you when you spend it? Is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, if you've looked at the price of that chair and thought it was crazy expensive, and then I said, there's something that costs 10 times as much that you should definitely buy. Like, what is that thing? What if it's something that gives you an extra 20 years of life? And we're talking, like, you know, tip-top health. If there was just some, like, health machine, you buy it and it, I don't know, you, like, sit on it for 10 minutes every day and it means you'll live for another 20 years, right? That might be worth it. Expensive, but, like, you know what I mean? So, like, you have to really, like, research and learn and know these things, and it can take time. But this is what I'm on about with, like, investing and money and stuff. It's understanding those relationships. And a lot of stuff in life is like cake in reverse. All right, cake is like immediate pleasure and pay the price later. And a lot of the stuff you need to do in life is like hardship first, and then the reward comes later. The hardship of getting an Aeron Miller chair is going, oh my god, it cost $1,000, and crying. But then a year later, you're thanking yourself when all your back pains are gone and you're in much better, you know, comfort and stuff. There's a good market for second-hand Herman Millers. Still expensive, but less so, says 8Prober. Yeah, that's worth looking into. However, I would say I did hear once that a Herman Miller should only be sat in by one person. So the idea is that I think it like conforms to your body once you've got a fresh one and you start sitting in it. I haven't heard that repeated, like whenever I've encountered the chair or discussions on it. There's this cool, it's one of these ex-Vox employees that started a new channel. I think they're ex-Vox, or maybe they work for someone like Johnny Harris, and they went off and decided to do their own channel. And I really liked the premise of their channel. I just don't remember the name. And they did a video like a while back on the Herman Miller, and it was really cool to see again. And I don't remember them saying that, and it's one of those things I've held on to, and I'm like, I kind of want someone, I want someone to confirm that. Like, is that true or not? Because otherwise, secondhand market, great, go for it. And I've always wondered, like, what about all those offices that just share chairs? Because that's like obviously not made for one person. Autumn says that sounds like something Big Herman would say. I'm so glad that you said Big Herman and not Herman Miller, because now I know you're joking. Because it's one of these like it's one of these awkward things, which is that like companies and businesses, like they want your customership, so they're incentivized to tell you good things about their product. They're also incentivized at some level to build a good product. Now, all sorts of things can happen in a corporate environment, like learning that actually if you sit on this chair for 20 years, it will start to go in the wrong direction and, you know, damage you irreversibly. I'm making that up, by the way, if it's not obvious. And so, like, it gets swept under the rug and they hide it. Maybe I should have just gone with the cigarette companies here. They find out their product is killing their own customer base, but, you know, they're going to try and sweep that one under the rug. So there's many ways in which those incentives can work the wrong way. But it shouldn't just be like a rule of thumb to sort of be like, of course they would say that. Because sometimes, you know, you're running a company, you're trying to do a good thing, and you're looking for stuff to support your argument. That stuff can be true, you know? By the way, I'm looking at getting solar panels at the moment, and so, you know, the solar companies are all incentivized to tell you how you'll save money over time and, you know, it's good for the environment and all this. So the question is that true, or are they just saying that because it's convenient? And according to a lot of research, it would appear to be rather true. There is a little bit of naysay around solar when it comes to using rare materials and stuff, but it seems like it's a better alternative to pumping more carbon dioxide into the environment with how we get our energy, you know? 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Herman Miller. Is the wall a mod? Yeah, man, wall doesn't exist in Minecraft. We've just modded it in. We're playing with the wall mod because Mojang refused to add wall to the game. If you have it for 10 to 30 years, it's definitely worth it. With solar, yeah, according to the calculations I've been given, my break-even is around 8 years. And honestly, I wanted to do it more for kind of energy security, in terms of, like, you know, there's a war popping off and all of a sudden your energy prices go up. I mean, that's I'm saying that cheekily because, you know, for some people it's oh, there's a war popping off in my neighborhood, so like, yeah, big problem for me, right? Anyway, and obviously, okay, I burn less fossil fuels. I've been on a green tariff for a long time. You pay more for it, but then the idea is that money gets channeled into sourcing energy from renewables. And now I'll just do it myself. You know, I'm kind of more motivated by that than the whole invest and return thing, but it's a nice bonus, I guess. And again, it ties into what seems to be a common theme today, is talking about investments and, like, returns on it or not over time. And yeah. Not all investing is like, oh, the stock market. It's like, no, it's about making good decisions, being smart. You tried to get an EV, but then they cancelled the tax credit for us and delayed the shipment of the car so you couldn't get one. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the solar panels are VAT free. The government has done a new incentive, so they're cheaper than usual right now. I don't have an EV car. Earlier this year, I got a new car. I gave my old car to a friend and got myself a new one. I had the last one for almost 10 years. it was having signs. I could have looked after it a little better over the years, perhaps. Still a good motor. Had I known I was then going to go and get solar, I might have considered an EV, but I think the prices aren't there yet. And for the amount that I drive my car, you want someone like me having petrol. Like, the EV owners should be the people using it the most. And one of the remarks I've heard around this is that because they're pricier, there's a lot of like people who are really wealthy that have EVs, but they have them more as like a, I don't know, some people call it like virtue signaling or whatever. It's like it's their second or third car, and they mostly leave it on the driveway and don't really use it much. But hey, good for the environment, right? I've got an EV. You kind of want EVs in the hand of people that are going to use and drive a lot, right? And you want the petrol cars in the hands of people who ain't driving a lot. So I'm happy sticking with a petrol car for the time being, Here where I lived, you get taxed more if you have an EV or a hybrid car. What is the reasoning behind that? I'm curious. Like, is that just like local government or incentivized to work with maybe some energy companies in the region that rely on gas and fossil? That's a not what you'd expect to hear, right? Like, a lot of the world is on board with trying to move in this direction. Most diesel trucks have this converter thing that basically holds the soot within the pipe and then takes extra gas to burn the soot away. However, that obviously uses more gas and makes the pipe 1,000,000 degrees, so most people in the US take that modifier off. Oh, I know what that is. I've heard that discussed before. Is it a catalytic converter or something? And they're fitted into cars to make them pollute less. I mean, hopefully the math means that like that's the way to do it, because then if you're taking it off, you're polluting more, right? Gas taxes pay for the road infrastructure, so EVs need to make up that tax in fees, says Winnie. Ah, I see. Damn, we're talking policy now. I always remember this monkey dust clip where these like cyclists come by. They look like aliens, and they sort of like meld into their bikes, and they pull up alongside the car, and they go, "We are the cyclists." And then they make this remark. I can't remember quite how it goes, but like, we don't pay taxes for your roads, and then they just leave. And it's like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, cyclists don't have to pay taxes for going on the road here in the UK. Should they? I don't know. Like, a lot of cyclists are adults who probably have a car anyway, but it's just a funny little remark. A-Prover says, goodness me, just looked at the Herman Mill and Aaron page, and there's 20 different custom options for various things. I didn't even know they had different sizes. My brain is fried out before I even look at the price. Well, size is because there's different sizes of humans, so that's good that they have that. Oh, we're out of dye again, aren't we? I've got to go get more dye. And then as for all the add-ons and stuff, I don't really know about that. But yeah, like decision fatigue with lots of choices and stuff you don't know about, that can be exhausting. When I brought mine, I don't remember there being lots of bells and whistles. It was kind of like, here's the chair. You don't think cyclists cause much maintenance needs for roads either? Nah, they probably won't be contributing to potholes much, right? Like, it's big, heavy trucks and cars bashing on the roads that cause the potholes and stuff. In the Netherlands, the road tax is based on weight only. Ah, they are looking into the possibility to tax based on an amount driven and weight, as weight brings more down. That's really clever, because you can incentivize people to like reduce the weight in their car. And then here comes the horror story of like how people started ripping out like essential car infrastructure. They ripped out the the advanced braking system, so that there's a little less weight on the car. But no, seriously, like if that encourages people to then think about what's in the car when they travel, you get more economic responsibility there, because then you're like, okay, before we go, what's in the boot? Oh, these heavy weights that I was driving around last week. Let's get rid of them. Let's put them in the house before we go for a drive. Jossie Drizzle, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it. That was 13 minutes ago. And Hand of Clay, thank you for 9 months. I think I read that one. I might have read Joshi as well, but thank you, Joshi. Who says in chat, I wish I could only take buses and trains around more, but my area doesn't really have it. Same here. I wouldn't mind using public transport more. In fact, I use the trains to get to London. I can also cycle to my train station or walk there. So I already said I don't drive a lot, and it's because I got a bike and whatnot. Spare tire, dead weight. To be fair, cars are so much more reliable these days. If any of you have someone who's maybe 20 or 30 years older than you and you talk about like what things were like driving in the past, right? Cars used to be absolute rust buckets. I actually remember when I was a kid, we had a Peugeot that like had loads of rust on it, and it's just something that's sort of gone away over time. And so like cars breaking down happens a lot less than it used to. And there might be some things like spare tires. I mean, it sounds mad to take that out of the car, right? But like there could be some things that are quite redundant these days. You know, it could be that the tires are so much better now that if you did actually happen to need your tire repairing, it might be like so infrequent that it works out to be more economical to not have a spare tire and just call the repair or whatever, you know? I don't know. I'm just saying there's maths you can do behind this stuff. What are we doing? We're actually just standing around. This area won't be loaded when I leave. I guess... Oh, I also got to pick up these items, so I guess we're not leaving the area. I was going to say I could do something with the camera account, right? But no, we're waiting for that to go now. Your spare tyre rusted to your car. Dang. You can bet you'll blow a tyre within a week of removing the spare, says Uriel. One person will, and it'll be a story, right? Because this is what happens at population scale, okay? The second we say, everybody get rid of your spare wheel, we've done the math, it works out it's going to be much better. The extra, less weight on the road will save us all of this money. Please do it. Everyone does it. The person who has their tyre blow the next day, that story will spread and everyone will go, oh, wouldn't you know it, as soon as they do that, someone blows their tyre. But it's like, no one's thinking, oh, when I went out and drove in my car yesterday around the country, how many people blew out their tyres? 100? 1,000? What's the average per day? I don't know. You know? I don't know. This is the way we interact with information and stuff. It's always very like kind of emotionally or story driven and not particularly like statistically balanced. Most old trucks rusted like crazy because they were made of steel and such. Nowadays, like 2025 trucks use aluminium which doesn't rust. Yeah, you know, material science has improved and stuff. Phone over the AA. We need these statistics. They might have it. They might be able to give you an idea, right? Peeps, I just had an amazing idea. I think it's time for a... Ooh, actually, I'm going to avoid a coffee. I think I'm going to have a second cup of tea. I'm going to have a second cup of tea because I had myself a matcha latte today, and I've been pulling back on the coffee a little bit because I think I've been drinking too much. But I'm going to go make a second cup of tea, people. Oh, and let me do the thing. If you're not aware, I make music. It's called Soulside Eclipse. I'd love it if you go and check it out. It's on Bandcamp. It's on Spotify. Anyway, I'm going to go boil the kettle, and I'll be right back. Ow! Alright then, this time I've gone for the more fragrancy every day. I had a English brekkie, but now we're going for fragrance. Oh, I'm leaving, am I? It's riot time. You trying to start a riot? What's going on in chat? Rude. But it's the soul side. What's on the other side? Who knows? Who knows? Hide the torches. You better. I can stand over here now because I don't have my headphones on. Y'all can listen to these annoying game sounds, but I don't have to. I don't have to. Flower power, indeed. Did it just run out? Did it just run out? I thought I put more than that in. Let's go put more than that in then. Creeper? Don't type creeper in chat. It's scaring me. You hear a creeper. No, you don't hear a creeper. It explodes. Okay. You don't hear a creeper. What's that? A donkey. I'm pretty convinced that Scar stole my donkey and I have no idea where it is, and it's been months. And all I do is fly around the server now. Right, I think the kettle's about to get there. Okay, topic for when I come back. What were we in the middle of talking about? Maybe we shouldn't move on the topic just yet. Statistics? Oh my god, I could go on about like policy and statistics and how like things we do at that level can change society. I could talk about that stuff for ages. It fascinates me. That sort of top level decision having like effects that ripple through society. That's interesting to me, but it's also very nerdy. So maybe we'll talk about something else. While I go though, here's a question for you. Have you seen Cub's latest episode where he's bringing back golf? I think we should talk about that. Yeah, that'll be a good topic of discussion, I think. Okay then, this was a cup of tea that probably didn't get too much time to brew, but you know, that's how it is sometimes. We've got Dancing Dinos in chat. Y'all like the beat. I thought of something to talk about because I went out and voted today. If you're in the UK, don't forget to vote. I voted green. I voted green. I don't remember the last time I felt like, I don't know, voting with any real sense of purpose. Most of the time voting has just felt a bit tactical or whatever, I guess I'll vote. But this time it was like, okay, feels like we're voting for something. So if you're in the UK, don't forget to go vote. I wish I had some words of encouragement for those of you that are unenthusiastic about voting, but to be fair, I get it if you are. I think I get it. What's the vote for? American here. So our political system right now, I think, here's how I'd describe it. We've had austerity for a long time under the Conservative government, and that means that our government is getting poorer because we are selling up our national infrastructure and privatizing it, and we're seeing growing wealth inequality, and this, you know, this puts more pressure on various markets like housing for them to become more expensive, and this hurts the ordinary person's ability to get, housing and on the property ladder, and minimum wage hasn't really rose in line with inflation. So there's a lot of wealth being squeezed out of the country and our public services, and we're just on a general decline. And I think our political state right now is like, we're on such a decline, and no, like, we're not united on what the cause of it is, and we don't know, us the regular people, what is the cause of it. There's people have their theories and opinions and ideas of what causes all of this, but until we fix it, we won't know. And so we're just swinging back and forth between different parties, and you're seeing parties like the Conservatives collapse, and then Reform and this other one pop up in its place, and now the Labour comes into government reluctantly as in they've reluctantly been put into power, because it was like, well, the last bunch were terrible, we'll give you a go. They've got no way of fixing the current trajectory. Things keep going in a downwards trajectory, and now Labour are going to just get kicked out, and it's going to swing in some other direction. And what's interesting about this election is that it looks like the swing could sort of go in a whole bunch of different directions, and it might be quite mixed. However, we have a voting system that pushes us towards a two-party system. So it's going to be a very interesting, time to see how Labour come out of it and where all of their votes disappear to, because yeah, I don't know, like it could go to a bunch of other smaller parties, but our system tends to push votes into the two main parties. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But yeah, that's our like political system. It's like constant failure for the last 20 and 30 years, and just no one knows. And there's extremely polarizing ideas on, well, I say extremely polarizing, not really. You have a lot of, on one side you have more anti-immigrant scented anti-immigrant sort of sentiment, where we're blaming immigrants for the issues the country faces today, is kind of the sentiment. And then on the other side, it's more like just sort of moderate, trying to keep trucking along as we are. And there isn't really a big anti or wealth tax movement, right? There isn't a big movement yet to tax wealth to solve the problem. And that's what voting for the Greens might help us do, is start to build up that argument that we need to tax wealth. Anti-immigrant scented candles. The illusion of choice. You do have a choice. I don't think it's an illusion of choice. I think it's that things exist on a scale, and political systems and voting could be far better and far more meaningful. Just the way it's set up here, it isn't. But it could be better. It could also be worse. You could have no vote at all. You could live under a authoritarian dictatorship, There's everything always exists in these sort of degrees and scales of things that could be a bit worse, could be a bit better. How expensive is petrol in the UK? I don't know, because I haven't topped up my car in a while. Like, I drive very little, so I generally never really think much about the price, because I just go and top it up once in a while, Aren't green parties generally anti-technology and progress? For instance, anti-nuclear? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, look, I think we have to tax wealth, and the guy trying to lead a movement on that said, I think we should vote Greens, and I'm happy to go with it. You do make a fair point, though. Like, the anti-nuclear thing is madness to me. Like, it really feels like nuclear has just got such a bad PR and is so poorly misunderstood. Nuclear should probably be our primary source of technology as we move on to fission. Green aren't anti-tech, they're anti-pollution, says Burt Potato, yeah. Look, I only know as much as I know, and I don't know a lot about the Greens. I haven't really paid attention, Like I said, it's just, I follow one person on this who I feel like has has explained to me what's wrong with this country and maybe the world at a broader extent in a way that makes sense to me and that I can see and understand. And I think they're also trying to find a solution that is probably the best one we got. So I'm gonna be a part of that and go with what they say, basically. Make of that what you will. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say I've got the answer, I'm 100% right. I'm just saying that's how I've come to where I am. I need to drink more of this tea. This is a good cup of tea. To be fair, the focus of the current Green Party has not been so much environmental in the past 5 to 10 years. I wonder why that is, because I feel like over the past 10 years, like we have shifted more in a green direction. Like we have this problem where globally, the rise of countries like India and China, and this is not a blame them thing, it is just a fact of reality. They are steps behind the Western world in terms of their industrial and countries' development, that they are going through the boom phase we had where you're burning lots of carbon. We're now getting to that mature stage where, like here in the UK, our carbon emissions have come down to pre-industrial levels. Like it is happening. The lowering of carbon in Western countries is coming down, but globally it's still going up because we're not all on equal proportions here, which is unfortunate. But like, maybe that's why they're focusing it on less, because it's kind of like now the boat's going in the right direction. That would be my guess, you know. Nuclear is green power. I would definitely agree with that. But Potato says clean power generation in the UK without nuclear is definitely possible. Wind, water, and solar. Yeah, well, we have a lot of offshore wind, and we can do solar. It's not the most optimal place for solar, but we can do it. And that's the way our grid's been going. We generate a lot of offshore power now. Is the West just not outsourcing to other areas of the world? There is stuff like that, isn't there? There's carbon credits. You know, you have to take whatever your news you're getting with a pinch of salt, and maybe sometimes a strand of faith or whatever. Like, my understanding of how we're moving away from fossil fuels comes from these good news channels, because they're the only places that tell you that we're doing good on fossil fuels, right? The rest of the news is all doom and gloom. So they're coming around and telling you, like, good stories about the world that relate to lower carbon emissions and stuff. And yeah, you know, a deeper dive on those numbers might reveal stuff like tax credit manipulation, or sorry, what do they call them? Credits is a part of the word somewhere. So you just, I don't know, with some of that stuff you just have to kind of hope, oh, well, I hope that's right in this situation. I take it on good faith. I hope those numbers are good. Carbon credits, that's the one, yeah. It's hard for the Green Party in the UK because that's been holding them going for years. They are the NIMBYs, anti-nuclear. Yeah, that is such a thing, though. Like, NIMBYism, I've learned about. NIMBY, by the way, stands for not in my backyard. So, like, where we need to make progress on certain issues, i.e. getting nuclear power, you go and try and build nuclear power, and because of the bad PR it has, the NIMBYs turn up, i.e. people that live in the area, and say, not in my backyard. And the Greens, yeah, would be anti-nuclear. I'm for nuclear power to the point where, like, no, I'm so convinced that it's got a terrible PR and it's the right way to do things that you know, in my backyard, like, if they turned up and said, like, we're building a nuclear power plant down the road, I'd be like, please, please go right ahead. I'm not standing in your way, but I would probably be alone in my neighborhood on that. You know, I'd be trying to convince others, and they'd probably be like, no, haven't you watched The Simpsons? I don't want all that green goo in my backyard. You grew up by 3 Mile Island and you only have 3 eyes. That's a good one. Ah, that is a good one. Oh, this is a lovely cup of tea. Do you mind if I just stand here and drink this tea for a second, people? The new offshore wind park at the west coast of Denmark can theoretically supply power to almost half the homes in the country. Wow. Wow, that sounds awesome. What are we working on? Making wool, of all things. We're making wool today. Make wall, not war. That's the slogan today. How much more of this do I need? 4 stacks. We've got 3. We'll grab 1 more of something. Go with green. Green. Anyway, did anyone else here in the UK vote today? I feel like I asked that and I didn't really catch too many replies about it. Any new movies in at the moment, X, says my lord? Nah, I've just been watching Space Odyssey. When I finish it, I'll probably share some thoughts, but I'm pivoting away now from watching stuff and starting to study more when I eat, which I like. I like it. You live near a nuclear power plant, and legit, if you get pooped on by a seagull, there's a special building you have to go to and be scanned for radioactivity. Yeah, that's probably entirely possible. But like, radioactivity is sort of seen as this like bullet of like, oh no, bad nuclear thing that happened. But radioactivity, like a lot of things, is like an amount that's tolerated in our environment. Like there's natural radioactivity everywhere. We radiate, and it's about understanding how much tolerance of it there is. So if you have an encounter with radioactive material, we need to go and find out how much to find out if you are, now in danger or going to have health problems or whatnot. Billy says, no, I don't like any of the parties. Fair enough, my dude. I totally get it. I used to feel that way when I was young. I still do, to be honest. I don't particularly like anyone I'm voting for, but, you know, got to use my vote for something. You're not a wealth tax supporter. You think money is so liquid it would be impossible to stop, control the flow, and normally has a negative GDP impact. I think a better approach to policies is to tackle more directly, i.e. online sales to strip tax from a percentage. I didn't get to read all of that, but yeah. I just, whatever it is, the growing wealth inequality that we have right now that you can see, it's so obvious that there is just a movement. Like you said that it's not liquid, but like it almost, well, sorry, did you say it was liquid? Like it's just the structure of society and the way it is right now just allows this money to sort of trickle up to the wealthiest. And a lot of that is just they have so much wealth and power that they can just passively reinvest all this stuff that's coming in. It puts huge upwards pressure on stuff like the stock market, which then continues to go up and continues to make them wealthier. It just feels like we're in a loop, like a feedback loop that is creating more and more wealth for them, or moving it. Maybe not even creating it, but moving it to more of them. So like a generalized wealth tax, if you want to critique that, that's fair enough. If you've got ideas on like more specific actions, I think that's probably what we need. The wealth tax movement currently is more about like getting the movement going and getting people to come along and talk and then make policy. Like once you've got people who are on board who have the political power to make the wealth tax happen, then you go into policy and you try and find the effective way to do it. That's sort of the strategy of the movement at the moment, as I understand it. Been a long time since you turned into a Minecraft stream. Politics was not what you expected for the demographic. To be fair, this is not a regular demographic, okay? This is not your average, Minecraft streamer doing speedruns. Yo, bro, we gotta lock in. I'm an old git. And I've garnered a particular audience, I think. Who did the Never in Season 10? That was Tango, wasn't it? Last season? Or was that... No, Tango did Season 9. Season 10... I'm trying to picture myself going into the Nether Hub. And, like, my brain is drawing a blank. It will just take me a little bit. Did we have Crossroads, that one? Beat-ups? Oh, we're on the roof! Yes, we're on the roof. Okay, it just popped back in. We were on the roof, and he built an incredible build. And then people on Bedrock Edition didn't get to experience it. By the way, I should say... I know this is going to become a thing later in the year when the season ends, but there won't be any more Bedrock world downloads. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. It just popped into my mind that y'all should be aware of that. Because the community's gonna like just talk about it endlessly, and then that's all gonna come towards me probably if people are aware that I helped do that. So it's not gonna happen, and like if y'all already know, the community can just like explain that to each other as well. First time hearing it, says Night Daz. Night Daz is here a lot, so yeah, I had a feeling I hadn't really brought it up yet before. It never felt like there was a good time to just randomly tell you, but yeah, it won't happen again. We have a wealth tax here in Denmark, but since globally there is none, you can only hope people are honest and not stash it in the Cayman Islands or something. Yeah, yeah, and you know, a lot of people are honest, and I think, you know, we can be quite pessimistic about things. I think you probably find it only takes a few bad apples to do that, and the whole situation looks bad. But we need it to be a global movement. We really do. And that's what it was last time it happened. I think people sometimes forget that we've been through this before, because pre-World War II, you had a similar distribution of wealth that you have today, where you had, you know, a lot held by the probably millionaires at the time. They probably weren't billionaires yet because of inflation over time and the size of the money supply going up. But we should put that map in the hand, shouldn't we? But after World War II, the sort of international rules were redrawn by America, and that's what gives you the baby boomer generation that have been extremely wealthy. Now, part of the reason the most of them have had a lot of wealth, you know, now they've got big homes, big pensions, an easy retirement, it's because of that redrawing of the wealth distribution. And we've slipped away from it again. And so I think it's possible to, you know, redo the norms, bring the wealth back, and, you know, give Gen Z and other generations a chance again. 1945 to 1970. Yeah, it gets talked about 1970 because that's when we first came off the gold standard, and then not long after that, CEOs' wage cap ratios were like, it used to be you couldn't earn more than 10 times a regular employee at a company, and then that got done away with, and then feels like, you know, the years are full of stories of things being done away with, and it lets wealthy people get wealthier. Google says Rockefeller was a billionaire in 1916. Wow, there you go. If he were around today, he'd probably be a trillionaire. Crazy, right? That's just such an exorbitant amount of wealth for one individual to have. I think there's like degrees of wealth where I understand if people want to hold on to it. But then there's just some numbers that feel astronomically absurd. I think maybe there's a problem that comes with having that much wealth would be if you really imagine being in their shoes, and don't be idealistic and think I'll give it all away, but think more about like what would giving it away look like, because then you might start to think like, well, if I give it to these people, will it actually go to good use or will it get wasted? And I think it's easy to think like that. It might not be the right way to think, but I imagine if you have a lot of wealth, the problem might be that the wealth has this like magnetism to make you feel like you're the best person to manage it or something like that. I think I could understand how that instinct would emerge. Because there are, by the way, there are billionaires who give away their wealth. These are just stories that don't make it into the news. And because of that, because of the, you know, news is always biased. I also don't know what the ratio is of, let's say, philanthropic billionaires compared to non-philanthropic billionaires. Like, I got no idea. But there was one who, like, very deliberately over his like retirement years decided to manage the giving away of his estate, and I believe he didn't even leave a lot to his kids. You know, they probably got an comfortable inheritance, but like the guy strategically managed giving away billions, and no one knows his name, and yet they've done something incredibly virtuous. Now, Thock says like Bill Gates. I'm not sure about Bill Gates. I've spent time listening to his books. I think some people, it'll be like history will tell, you know, when they're gone and future historians analyze all the data, and they'll probably figure out a more accurate picture than we can right now. I'm not sure about Bill Gates. Like, he definitely is obviously doing philanthropic stuff, but he's not exactly, as I understand it, giving away his wealth. It's sort of like doing a lot of good cause philanthropic stuff while still your number goes up. Also, yeah, Epstein Island. And there's that. Hey X, what's the next part of the Music Maker going to be, if you feel like sharing? Well, I'm going to build the big music machine, and I had an idea today to do something a little different. But when I started to think through the redstone challenges for it, it seemed like it was going to be really quite difficult. So, or I was going to discuss that in the stream, but then I kind of did my preliminary theory crafting, if we can call it that, and I was like, oh, this thing's actually a bit more challenging than I thought it would be. Your mum works at an awesome place that manages a trust that takes out a percentage each year to give to charities around the world while still keeping the funds growing. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, see, there are types of investment that seem to be decent, you know. It feels like he's investing and maintaining the places he lives rather than generosity when I look at it, says Risk of Tea. Yeah, so he like buys up lots of land, lots of farming land and stuff like that as well, right? Yeah, that's what I'm not so sure about, Bill. Well, and especially when you factor in Epstein, that doesn't look good either. So, I'd probably fall on the side of saying, I think maybe giving a lot of that wealth away to places that could effectively use it would be nice. On a lighter note, David Attenborough turns 100 tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. GG, turning 100, man, ambition. I want to turn 100 one day. In good health. I prefer billionaires that do good stuff with their companies and not just take token charity. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. I know there are more millionaires in the UK than ever before, and there are also more people using food. You mean food rations than ever before, or what do they call it? Tokens, or there's some other word there. Yeah, make of that what you will. That's what I'm talking about, the growing disparity. And another thing, right? Another thing, we've known this for a long, long time. One of the biggest causes of general unhappiness is disparity in wealth. Some people think, like, why is it when you see, like, videos of kids in Africa where apparently, you know, they're starving, and I'm not saying they're not, and, you know, they need more education and stuff, and you see them, they need the water wells and all of this, and then you see them, and they're happy as rain. They all come running up to the camera. They got the biggest smiles on their faces you've ever seen. How is that? And apparently it's like wealth disparity. It's like if you're dirt poor, but everyone else around you is dirt poor, that's just normal. And so it doesn't impact your happiness. A lot of like suffering, in my opinion, is how you think about things, how you grapple with who you are in the world and reflect on yourself. A lot of it is related to comparison. So it makes a lot of sense that if you live in a world where wealth is constantly being shoved in your face and you don't have it, like, that can make you generally feel down, you know? And if you never see that comparison, you could be happy as rain. So yeah, going back to the millionaires in the UK thing. So I heard a statistic about that, and what was interesting about it is that it's something, I think it was like there's 2 million millionaires in the UK, right? Now, let's see if anyone in chat can figure out why they're millionaires. And it's probably not what you think at first. You probably think like in the bank there's 2 million or 3 million or whatever. Like, that's not what it is. And then when you hear this, you might start to rethink what it means to have that kind of wealth. Old money. Nope, it's not old money. B Squared kind of said it, real estate. And then McKelly said house wealth. And Lady Pokemon says probably property. Property, yeah. Yeah, they invest in real estate. So no, it's not the investment in real estate, it's the price of your house. So if you live in and around London, most properties in London cost, you know, $1 million. I might be incorrect by saying most, but there are just so many properties that will cost over $1 million. And so people that have lived there for a long time have become millionaires based on the value of their home. Now, the thing with rising house prices, and this is why it's like super important to get on the property ladder as soon as you can in life, is because it's a house is kind of like a bank, but you're always going to need somewhere to live. So let's say you live in a house that costs like $1 million. This might make you feel like, oh, I'm a millionaire, I've got nothing to worry about, but you don't get to spend that money. It's locked in the bricks. Okay, I'll sell my house and move somewhere else. Well, if you want to stay in the same area, that the housing prices in your area are sort of the same. So then you'd have to move up north where it's poorer and there's less opportunities for work, and public services aren't as good as they are run down in the richer areas. So like, and then you still got to buy a house, which will cost several $100,000. So like, the money thing and how it gets tied up in property is really odd. But yeah, this is another thing about like when you hear about people being worth a lot of money, it's comes from their assets. It's not liquid cash a lot of the time. It's things like owning stocks, owning property. And so a lot of the millionaires in the UK are just people who live in houses where the property price has risen over time to the point where on paper they look like a millionaire. But the thing is, everyone needs a place to live. So what, are you going to sell your house, live on the street and say I've got $1 million in the bank, you know? We need reasonable limits on multiple property ownership, says Kimiko. I am 100% for that. 100% for that. Goofy me, thank you for 24 months. Appreciate ya. 2 years, indeed. Thank you. Property almost appreciates as well. So although you can't spend the money, your worth is increasing, says B squared. Maybe, but not quite. Here's why. Because when your property price goes up, so does the property prices of the areas around you. You always need somewhere to live. So like when you go to sell your house, maybe to downgrade, which is a way to get some of that money back, the house you're moving into, its house price has gone up too. And this is why getting on the housing ladder is so important. Because it means your money is now a part of that system, right? Like the money inside the house when you're paying off your mortgage, it's appreciating in value over time effectively. It's a really strange thing to understand, but it's worth knowing. And it's why renting is a trap and terrible, and you really don't want to be renting in life. You want to get on the property ladder as soon as you can. It's so important. Because renting is such a trap, and it's really unfair. I don't like, landlords and renting. I think there should be more social housing. That's just me. I think we might be having a visitor come our way, by the way. Oh, I didn't pay rent for the last batch. We were talking about politics and stuff, so I can't. Do you know what? We'll just pay another 14 diamonds. That'll cover both. I think we had less, but I don't care. We've got to pay rent again. I'll do that now if he's coming over here. Let's grab these. What happened there? I just separated them and then it was like, no, they're together. Why, hello there, good sir. There he is. Hi.
Hello, me old chum.
How you doing, brother?
What are you up to out here, dude? What the heck?
I'm painting the end magenta. I'm doing this for your wall, and I forgot to pay you last time, so there's some extra diamonds.
Oh, nice, thanks.
I'll probably need some more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can rig the sheep farm to just make magenta for a while. I mean, how much do you need?
That would be lovely, but I kind of got it covered because I've got a magenta dye farm, so I just end up turning colors over. Yeah, so we're good on that front.
Okay, well, you can if you go to my wool farm, right?
Yeah.
Just take all the blue.
Blue. That's the color you don't need. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
And there's shulker boxes of it there in the chests.
Nice. I'll take blue next time. Yeah.
Nice.
So, dude.
Yeah.
You go first.
I just I just saw the thumbnail of your episode, and it literally, I almost choked on my tea, dude.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Wasn't it glorious?
So good.
Oh,
So good, dude.
I had to do it.
Amazing. That was perfect.
Yeah, man. The way the hat sits on his head as well is just so comical.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I've just rendered my episode and realized that I needed a thumbnail, so I just wanted to borrow your body for a couple minutes.
Oh,
That's
okay. Are you going to do something similar? Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't know. Oh, wait. I shouldn't look at anything around here, right? There's Enderman. Oh.
No, but also end bad for colors and stuff. Would you mind
Yes.
joining with me to Overworld for a second?
Yeah, let's go to it. Should we get in a group?
Yeesh. Open streaming?
Open streaming. I am streaming. Yes, let's go. There we go.
All right,
Nice.
all right.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know where I'm going to end up when I go through this portal, though. I think it might be back at spawn because...
I will be at spawn. I know that.
Ah, okay. Well, that's perfect then.
Oh, right. Here we are.
Hey!
There's music here. I need to get away from the music.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
It's I get flagged for it on the videos and stuff.
Really?
I think
Isn't
so.
it-
Yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty
epidemic,
sure
is it, or something?
No,
No?
it's YouTube. YouTube music.
Oh,
library,
okay.
I
Right, I'm
believe.
mistaken then. It must be something else.
Yeah.
So, do you need like a cutout of me where I'm standing behind, like
yeah,
like
well, I need a cutout of your entire body.
okay.
So come this way, dude. There's a good spot up there. Come this way.
Where you looking?
I want like a nice blue background so that I can just use the
sky.
magic.
All right, so we
Colour
get above
picker
the
in
above the
Photoshop,
clouds. Woo.
Yeah, like over here. I've disabled clouds, so I just want to get a nice bit of blue going. You know.
Okay. Wings,
background.
headphones.
Okay. Oh, we definitely want the headphones.
Headphones are staying
that's the whole
in.
point of this. Yeah. Okay. That's looking good. Smile.
I'm smiling.
Say cheese.
I swear.
Oh, magnificent. Look at you. That's the
I'm
good
gorgeous.
spot. Oh, look at you. You're absolutely banging. Okay, look slightly up, if you would.
Is that good?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah?
there we go. I'm trying to catch the
Are you getting your
musical notes
snaps?
in the screenshots too, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
the
see,
little
let's
particle
get
effects
a
are
little bit
wonderful.
Slighter. Okay, now I want you to look straight down the lens. Look straight down the lens like you
Where's
mean
the
it.
lens, man? Is it here? Is it there?
Punch.
I'm punching.
I'm
I'm wiggling my hips.
Okay, stop wiggling. Okay. Ooh, that's good. That's perfect. Oh, Magnum. Let's do a Magnum. No, don't. No, you moved
Wait.
the head. Punch again. Okay, punch.
Are you
and-
using a record or a screenshot?
Oh, I'm screenshotting. I'm doing this old
If
school, dude.
you record, then you don't have to like time the screenshot. Is what I learned.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to take longer. I'm just going to do
Fair
it
enough.
this way. Okay, stop punching. Stare
Oh.
straight down the lens like you mean it, dude.
Okay, I'm
There we go.
staring.
Perfect. Cha-ching.
Nice.
Okay, sweet. I should be able to do something with that.
Sweet.
Okay, good.
I
Thank you,
love
bro.
these headphones. I love that they're green like my Doom guy skin.
I love them too, man. They are so cool. Like, it's such a creative idea.
Hoffin's done
know.
wonders for us this season.
Yeah.
Like, look at that
they're
hat,
so
man.
smart. Like, they're so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hat's so cool. I wish like I could tip it or something, you know? Like I'd love to come up to Hermits and be like, how you doing? Top of the morning
Well,
to you, and like tip the hat, you know?
You know
That'd be
you've
sweet.
got that book, and when you the problem with this one is that it requires the player to do something like hold shift or click or right click, and then it can change.
Yeah.
But you can't do it for the other player, I don't think.
No. Not yet anyway.
Not yet.
Until we find a way to
Yeah. I was talking to False yesterday. She wanted some custom textures on horses, which we can't do yet, but I was reminded that we can actually now, with a vanilla data pack and resource pack, put custom textures onto pigs and chickens and cows.
Ah, interesting.
So if that gets your noggin going, you want any lore-related chickens like running around your base, we should totally try it. I think
Interesting.
we've got to check out what that would feel like on the server.
Dude, I had an awesome idea for a data pack.
Yeah?
Now that I've got you here. Okay. I'm busy trying to like sort out my storage room, right?
Yes.
And on stream yesterday or day before, I was like messing around with the chests and stuff. And at one point I was like, and this is not one of those situations where last time I was like, hey, chests now have 9 slots in them. And I was like, whatever. But what I didn't know, right, was that you could name chests.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Which is super cool. And you put them down and see the name of the chest. However, dude, imagine a data pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which allowed us to, so if you open this chest, it says large chest. If we could edit large chest here, right? Like
when it's already placed?
Yep. And you know how in Scribble gives you all the different colors and stuff also?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine if we just had a little bit more control over like how to name chests. It would make storage so much more vibrant and alive.
I got ya. I would say, like, the naming, like, yes, you can do a data pack to name it once it's already placed, but I think it's probably just going to be a little more convenient to put it in an anvil and, like, replace the chest after.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, because, like, with the data pack, then, like, you're asking a lot of the data pack maker. They got to create some sort of detection of where you're looking, and then pick up some data that you have to type into a command and then forward it to the chest. Like,
oh, I see.
It's definitely doable. It's just like I can't help but feel it's one of those things where you just rename the chest, and put it back down again.
Okay, but hear me out, dude. You've set up a storage situation.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have talking about me. The chests already have all the stuff in them. Okay. And I've not named the chests because
if you want this, I can hook you up with a data pack dev, and they can build that for you.
Because now I got to break every chest which I've cataloged and like set up perfectly for storage. I got to break like 100 chests and replace them with all the stuff in them again.
I got ya. If you really want it, I can hook you up with someone to help you make it.
Well, I mean, it's just an idea. It might be a little bit too. It feels quite modded though, because this would be the first time that you could interact with like.
I don't think it's modded. It's more like you just need to. You can basically do that before. What you said about it being like Scribble. So here we got an anvil. You're using Scribble as well now. Let's grab.
Yeah, on the signs, right? On signs, it's so awesome.
Oh wait, you use Scribble on signs?
Yeah, dude.
Wait, so I've got the big font mod, so that must override what Scribble does.
Probably.
Interesting.
Wait, sign. Yeah, dude. Like. Oh wait, hold on. I don't know if it's on signs. Let me see. No, sorry. I'm talking nonsense. In books, in books, right? You know, like a book.
Yeah, we don't need the Lexon. I got a book and quill here, so I have bold, italic, underline, strike through, colors. So we want that to basically appear wherever you can enter text. It might be worth just contacting the Scribble author and saying, hey, could you add some of that to the anvil? Because when you type in an anvil, you basically just want the same thing there, right?
Yes.
Or like a Scribble anvil mod. I'll make a note. I'm going to reach out and ask.
And that could apply to signs also, right? Like signs are another place where you write text.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, no, it
like
could.
On signs, we can currently change the font on signs, which is great. But what about colors and underlines and
technically
capitals?
It can already be done with like. Do you know what? Actually, colors on signs, I don't think it can because it's already got its own coloring system.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you ink color the signs. True. Okay, so the signs wouldn't need this.
Hang on. So if I go into a book and I bold and I type in Ren's shop. Actually, I'm just going to type Ren or shop. There we go, shop. Right, if I put that on my clipboard and then go into this sign, I'm gonna edit the other side of it.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, it loses bold when I put in the text, so you can't copy across that formatting.
I see.
Are you aware of the big font mod for the signs?
Yeah, very, very cool. But dude, I think like Scribble does. I mean, check at this, right? This is my to-do-dium. Just being able to change colors and things inside, it just brings the whole book to life in such an interesting and awesome way. And I use colors to like track what I'm doing. This is like my to-do list. And I use the colors to like track what I'm doing and whatever. It's just so good and awesome.
When you go over to the music mall at some point in the future and you check out the chord maker, the lectern there, it has color coded books where like you see the keys on the keyboard and it shows you which ones are being played.
Incredible.
I love doing that with books now, just adding a little bit of flair and color. You can like emphasize the bits that people need to pay attention to and stuff like that. It's cool.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. I mean, look, we can do the anvil color changes already, right? But we have to use, what is it, trigger_ch or whatever. I can't remember what the thing is. And then you have to find the correct, like, code of the color to change the... So, like, for example, this wand, its name is blue, right?
Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, by changing the color name or whatever using the trigger. But, man, if you could just do that in the anvil, wouldn't that be just so awesome?
Yeah, that's format name you're referring to.
Yeah, that's
so it does a few more things than Scribble does, but like Scribble could do that in the anvil, and that's like 99% of the time you want to use it for that.
Yeah. So you're kind of seeing Scribble anvil.
Yes.
Would be, yeah. Like a Scribble data pack specifically for the anvil.
This would be a mod. This would be a client-side mod.
Okay.
Because this one trigger format name, that's a data pack. And so its interfaces through the chat.
Oh, I see. So they're different. They interact differently.
Yeah, data packs and stuff like that have to work with the limitations of the base game. So it allows you to do a bunch of stuff, but within a certain set of rules, let's say. Yeah. Modding is like you can just do whatever you want because you're now modifying the game's code and stuff.
Gotcha.
But it's a cool idea.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess, you know, I would love to just like double click on this copy that says large chest.
I know.
And it brings up the interface to like
it would be super convenient.
Yeah, we can't have everything in this life.
I know. Well, you can, but it's like it's kind of like a big ask for a niche use. Because you can already.
Hey, listen, bro. once people like.
There's nothing wrong with wanting
systems in the world.
I know.
Right? With hundreds of chests in them.
True.
That people like have set up already, and they'd love to be able to just.
Now you're making the good argument. Now you got a point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, for chests that you don't want to move but you want to update, we need that. I could do it with my own chests, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna rip those out.
Exactly. Now you're thinking.
I am. Yeah.
I guess it does like get around the cost of renaming via XP, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it does dodge the XP economy, though.
I think the XP economy is pretty broken in this game.
Well, especially
you can also bake it in.
Infinite XP.
There's a suggestion in my chat to use a name tag. That could be a vanilla thing. Like Mojang could just let you name tag a chest that's already placed to rename it.
That is very smart.
Then the anvil with Scribble that can add in all the color and stuff. So you do the name on the name tag, use the name tag on the chest.
Bro, you just blew my mind.
Be pretty cool, that, wouldn't it?
You could remember font too, right? Like, so if you name the name tag in the anvil, use Scribble to color it, used a font that you could control V in from the outside, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Then you right-click and it just remembers like the attributes of that text on the
Scribble could support fonts the way Big Signs does.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm adding that. I'm adding that to the list.
Yeah, because you saw the text in my to-do-dium, right? It's all like magical or whatever.
It's amazing.
Like, I had to make that outside in a website, right?
Yes.
And then Control V it in.
Yeah.
But Scribble could just do all of that, and then you could put that onto the name tag, and then just right-click a chest. Now it feels vanilla, dude, because now we have to spend resources to get name tags. We have to spend XP to name them.
Yep.
I'm happy, even though that is a grind to rename all the chests. It feels Minecraft. It feels vanilla. I'm down.
Yeah.
The chat is a genius.
I mean, I suggested the name tag thing as being a vanilla thing that Mojang could add, but now that I think about it, that might actually be really friendly on the data pack front, because you can detect the block you're looking at pretty easily, and then the item that you're holding, you can detect the right click, you can make it disappear, you can transpose the data. I actually think that's a really nice, doable thing.
Yeah. As even people are so smart, I bet you there's someone in your chat that's already done it.
Yeah, it probably already exists.
No,
They
just
might.
did
I
it
should
now.
search for it.
In the last minute, they're just like, boom, done.
Dude, when you stream, do you take note of like all the ideas that come your way and like bookmark them for later?
Dude, I can barely remember what I'm doing. Of course I don't.
See, I can't remember either. That's why I write it down. But every stream, I end up with a list of stuff to do after.
That is wise, but you are a wise man, X. You are a wise man.
I try to
indeed.
be.
Yes.
I'm also a derp.
That is. I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm a wise derp.
Yes, a wise.
Yes. Do I derp wisely? Is that what a wise derp is? I'm not sure.
You are derply.
I'm derply.
Yes, combination between wisely and derp or something.
Derply. I love it.
You're a werp, dude.
I'm a werp. Sounds like an insult. Like it's one letter away from one, twerp. I don't think twerp's ever been said positively.
True. Anyway, thank you for the screenshots, dude.
Happy
Appreciate
to.
it.
You got more diamonds over here, Ren.
Ooh.
Dude, earlier I went. These
Cha-ching.
prices are so cheap. I'm just gonna buy them for a diamond each.
Yeah.
You might have noticed
thank
you were
Yeah.
doing good, and then I needed to buy like 10 shulker boxes of magenta, and I was like, I'm paying 1 for 5.
Yeah, exactly. Now, well, that was the goal with the pricing, right? I was like, okay, people that are going to use a lot of wool are going to need shulker boxes of it, and other people who just need it for coloring or a little bit of, decoration here and there, they don't need more than like 5 stacks of color. So, like
It worked
whatever.
out.
Yeah,
Dude.
and the farm produces insane amounts of wool, so I don't really care,
Could you? I helped you with a thumbnail. Could you help me with one for my stream? If you want to
sure.
stand right next to me.
Okay.
That's it. Take a couple of steps back. There we go. There we go.
Wait, in here? This isn't a very picturesque position. dude.
I don't know. Well, you got another place in mind?
You know what I mean? What do you, bro? There are so many incredible views.
True.
Oh,
I tend to think of
bro.
something that's like relative to what I've done, but like, I mean, it's all on
I understand.
Hermitcraft. So no. You pick a
Let's
spot.
do it here, dude. Let's do it here. No, let's do it here, like outside the shop, right?
We'll get the shop in the background. Okay, so I'm gonna stand that side of you, so I'm sort of like under your hat a little bit. Like there's room for 2, maybe.
Yeah,
And
there's
then-
definitely room for 2, dude.
I wish my free cam moved a little. Oh, there we go. Dude, I can now hear the ice cream van sound outside.
I can too, bro.
Can you hear it through the mic?
Dude, it's time for a flake. And a soft serve, dude. A soft serve
I'll tell
flake.
you-
Let's go.
When the summer comes around, I do enjoy a good ice cream.
Oh, me too. Especially like a good British ice cream, straight from a machine with a flake rammed into it.
I'm gonna have a few of those this summer, I tell you.
So good, dude.
There'll be hot days for it.
Yes. Any hoozle. Awesome.
Yeah.
You get back to magentifying the old nether, dude.
I
You know what I'll
think-
do, dude? Let me go get you some blue wool.
Okay.
Let me go
I
get
think
you a
I'm
blue
gonna
one,
wrap up my stream. I've been going for over
Oh,
2 hours
okay.
and I have my day to crack on with. I think False
Alright.
might be streaming. Should we go?
Oh, cool.
Should we go harass False and then I can raid her?
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Let's
That's a
do
great idea.
that.
She'll really appreciate that. I do enjoy harassing false. It's wonderful. Except she's kind of dangerous also, so you have to you have to tread carefully.
You gotta watch out. Here we go.
Okay, hold on.
False.
False symmetry.
False. I think she's down here.
She's down there. Hold on. It's a labyrinth.
Ah!
Dude.
My shins.
It's a labyrinth.
It's a maze. Wait,
Wait a minute.
I saw a name tag. That's you.
I was-
Wait, where is she?
Yeah, are you as lost as I am?
I think she's holding shift.
Yeah, she's quick. She knows. She knows we're up to no good.
I'm not sure we are up to no good. I think we're doing. Hello,
No,
False.
we're coming to say hello. Hello. Hi.
We're
Heyo.
in a group, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Realize this.
Oh yeah, we are in a group.
How do I
Oh,
do?
whoopsie. We were in a
things.
group. Yes,
Yeah.
Hello.
Were you talking to me? Hi.
we were. Yeah, we were shouting at you.
Oh. Well, that was
I don't know where you are. Are you in here?
In
Ah!
the, in the
I don't know where you are.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Yeah. You fall into my trap.
yeah. Xisuma, come back to the river.
Why
dude.
can't I see your name tags?
Come back to the river.
How is my base isn't that there isn't too much to my base, just saying. I'm just gonna quickly lock these maps.
You mean other than this massive, insanely huge, incredible structure?
Ah.
I mean, other than that.
Ow. Hi.
I'm glad you like
Oh.
it, Ren, and it's not just like
What a zombie
you know.
horse.
Dude, it's so awesome. It's coming together so awesome. You know, X,
Mhm.
False talked to me about the idea for her base last year at some point. And
Before the season started.
yeah,
Hmm.
and it was just like an idea and some concepts and whatnot. And it's coming together in exactly the way that you kind of envisioned. And it's becoming so much clearer for me to see it now also. Because at the time I was like, geez, that sounds like it's going to be huge and massive.
It is. It is. I said it yesterday. One of my favorite things to do is have a reason to fly over your base, because it just
Aw.
keeps getting more and more impressive.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to work out like I should probably time it, shouldn't I? I should probably work out roughly how much time we got, and then actually plan it, because I feel like I'm just constantly building more things, and I'm like, or planning more things and having more ideas. So I'm a little concerned that I might not have time, but you know, we'll get the building done at least, and then
Yeah,
you know, if the interior is empty, then whatever.
I'm feeling exactly the same. It's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do, but you know, time.
Have you
It's not
sorted your storage
forever.
yet?
I sorted like.
I offered
'Cause
to
that
help.
will
Actually,
make
I did-
things quicker. That will.
I did
that
a
will make
bunch of
things quicker.
storage yesterday, which is actually amazing. I sorted like
Mhm.
10 chests, I think, which is amazing. Only like 100 more to go. But it's
10?
fine. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Okay.
they were the important ones.
Were they? I think all of them are important ones. Have you seen the mess that is RenDog storage room?
I have. I encountered it a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh, this looks painful."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be one of the worst actually. I think I've seen. Like,
Storage-
scars like chest monster. Like,
Storage is a time sink.
but that's his main storage.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
take
You
care
feel
of
like that.
storage straight away. Saves you so much time.
It's happening,
Yes.
people. Okay, just slowly.
I don't think it is. You keep saying it does.
I'm
I think
telling
my
you,
storage
Ren.
got
Like
done
I can
and organised in, like, a
build you
day.
a system in a live stream. Like it'll take me about an hour, and it will last you the rest of the season.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. It's a good offer,
Yes.
Ren.
it is a good offer.
You can
Yes.
ask
Yeah.
Joe, you can ask Corrales, you can ask Skiz. They've all got
Skiz.
one. They
Yep.
love it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, this week,
Yeah, I came over here to raid because I've been streaming for a couple of hours and I need to go cook and
sweet.
eat and do life and stuff. So,
I was going to
Yeah.
ask, was there a plan with we both coming over?
I'm
well,
just
Ren
tagging
was with
along.
me, so I said like, come and harass
Yeah.
False with me, and then we'll raid
Oh.
and yeah, do whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do you got planned for your stream, False?
Oh, you know what? I've got a list right here. You want to
Ooh.
Organization.
look at the? Yeah.
Oh, base
See,
maps.
Ren, look at this. You can
lighting?
have signs in your storage.
Wow.
But do you know what my people have
Now
been
you've got your
watching?
book.
All I've done all stream is this.
Yeah.
That's what
I did
they've
notice.
actually watched this. So now I think they're going to
Yeah.
be
I'm
thrilled.
sorry, Xisuma viewers.
You know what though?
Like,
This
to be
magenta's
honest,
And
I'm
kind
you
of
can
hard
you
to
can keep the
get in, though.
carpet. It's sprucing up
Not
the
gonna
place a
lie.
little bit, you know.
It's kind
Thank
of
you.
looking pretty awesome.
Oh, excuse me.
It kind of matches nicely here.
Clear my
I like
carpet.
this. Look at this.
A magenta's not my
Nice.
color. Sadly. It is a cool one in Minecraft though.
Yeah, it does look good in this in this sort of darker shade of this area. It actually looks pretty sweet.
I have something to say. Ren, you should come earlier so we can have more time to hang out.
Okay.
Not at the end of a stream. Oh.
True.
It feels like
Anyway.
I always link up with hermits towards the end, and then I'm here like I want to hang out, but I have to go do adult stuff.
Have to go do stuff.
You've got
Yes.
Azuma's got an actual proper schedule unlike anyone
I
else,
do.
think,
I'm
probably.
so
Very true.
regimented, it is ridiculous. I've got a
Yeah.
list
No,
of
it's
jobs
good,
to
I'm
do throughout the
jealous.
evening, and
Dude, I'm super jealous. I know that if I did what you're doing, I would be a happier person. I literally know.
I'm
this.
not
I
sure.
just can't get it done.
I
I'm
just
not
can't get it
sure.
started.
I'm at my happiest when I have nothing on the list. I'm serious.
Wait.
I had some days a month ago where I had literally nothing at all to do, and I loved it.
I mean, how do you get nothing on the list? Like, I feel like there's always something to be added to the list.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to look the other way.
Okay, that's a secret.
You just have to be
I have
like,
to do
I'll
that.
let that pop into my head another time and take care of it then.
Yeah.
See, it's not all
Indeed,
that organised. Right, I'm gonna go bounce. I'm gonna
Okay.
say goodbye to my
Cool.
peeps and then send them over, folks.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All
Thanks
right,
so much.
see ya.
Catch you later.
All right, friends. We'll
There you
see
go.
later.
Bye.
I'm gonna go do
Wait,
some storage
Ren, take
sorting.
your,
Thank you, everyone.
take your carpet.
Much appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the chats. I think we're actually all up to scratch on the noises of the ear. So I shall say a fair dues. You know where you're going. And I will set up the rickety raid. Thank you to everyone in chat. If you did not know, an episode of Hermitcraft went live before I went streaming. So you got that to watch. And right now, though, we're going to go raid false. And if you enjoy the episode on my channel and you want more Ren's posting like a longer uncut one the next day. So lots to enjoy right now. But I got to bounce. I am like a good half hour behind where I need to be right now. I got a lot to do. All right, I think the raid is ready to go. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy the raid. Take care. See you again sometime soon. Bye-bye.